session. This is Craig Norberg-Bohm, and I'm delighted to facilitate today. We're going to start in a few more minutes. We'll take about 5 minutes here waiting for others to arrive. There are about 9 folks on the line at the moment, and others are still joining us. Feel free to find your chat feature, which is off your toolbar at the bottom, and say hello and introduce yourself. Craig again. Thanks for joining us for the web conference. Please find your chat button on the lower toolbar to the right and introduce yourself. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Thanks for joining the web conference today. I'm Craig Norberg-Bohm, and I'll be the facilitator of our web conference. It's a great pleasure to be your facilitator today for the North American Men Engaged Network Community of Practice. The community of practice, from our point of view, is a place to share what we're doing, our best practices on the local level, discuss our questions, seek answers, seek collaboration is our best preference. And doing something relatively casual as this is. This won't be terribly formal. We will be allowing you to speak and to share your thoughts and comments as we go along today. So it's a delight that we're doing this. This is the 4th in a series, and we hope to be doing this every other month going forward. To learn more about NAMEN, certainly visit our website at namen.menengaged.org. We'll begin our session. I'm going to show a few slides to say a few words about getting the ball rolling. Bear with me while I change my slides at my end. And so just give me a moment. Almost there. All right. I hope everyone can see these. Get back to the beginning. All right. So far, these numbers increased. Today we have about 17 people registered, plus the couple of presenters and helpers. There's about 20 folks altogether. So we have a good round table of folks together today. Please continue introducing yourselves on chat. I haven't been looking at it myself at the moment, but I know that people have been sharing on chat. That's terrific. If you look at your toolbar at the bottom, there to the right, there's a chat icon. If you haven't found it yet, find it there. And when the box comes up, there's a space at the very bottom where you can type in messages and send everyone a hello. Introduce yourself. Steve Bodkin and also Magalay are there to answer your chat questions and help us later on to bring some of those questions to bear for the presenters. There's also a feature called Raise Your Hand. You'll find that on your toolbar as well. Click Participants, you'll find your name, and by your name you'll find an option to raise your hand. That way we'll know you have something to say and we can call on you. On the bottom left you'll find a mute and unmute button. We can control that at our end as well. Stephen can, and or you can control it yourself. But be sure to know that you're all muted at the moment, so you'll need to unmute to actually speak. We are recording today's session. That's an important point. We don't always record these sessions. Sometimes they lend themselves to not recording. Today we feel it does lend itself to recording. So this session is being recorded, and we will edit it and post it to the NAMEN website. So you'll be able to share it and utilize it later. So a couple of rules for discussion. Please say your name the first time you speak. We can get to know your voice. I imagine not everyone is on video, but you may be on video. That's terrific. The idea of stepping up and stepping back to allow all voices. If you've spoken once, wait a moment before you speak a second time to allow other voices. But certainly, we don't want to restrain people from sharing. We just want you to think in terms of sharing the table. We feel all questions are good questions. Don't hesitate to say any points you want to make, and please use the chat feature freely. Let's see, do remember that the session is being recorded with regards to the comments that you make. So the topic of today, we're moving into the body of our web conference today. The heartbeat, we feel, of social change is local work. You know, what we do in our local families, neighborhoods, schools, cities, and towns really brings our own purposes here to life regarding promoting healthy masculinities, engaging men and boys for the purposes of violence prevention, and other great purposes for healthier life for males. And so today we're going to hear from 2 local projects and consider their current and critical questions. Thinking, what is their purpose, goals and objectives? How do you know there's progress? What are the benefits along the way? Think about what are your current and most critical questions about these presentations. As we move along, we'd like you to think about what your questions are and to share those in chat as you go. You don't have to just remember them. You can put them in the chat and we'll get back to them, or jot them down and bring them up verbally when we give you the time. We have the time during the session coming up. So the presentations will be about 30 minutes each, and both should include a few minutes of discussion. And then we'll have time, about 10 to 15 minutes at the end, for general discussion and questions and answers. So I want to please welcome the 2 presenters. Peng Pao is with the Man Forward in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and he'll be talking today with us about his work in the Hmong community. Then the second presenter is Alan Heisterkamp. He's in Iowa, Center for Violence Prevention, University of Northern Iowa. He has experience in high schools and other K-12 environments, and he's talking today about his work with this regard in K-12 schools.